Hi everyone, Lucy here. As you know, we have been a big fan of Faire Wholesale Marketplace since we started using them over 2 years ago. We have actually just ticked over £260,000 revenue on Faire alone, and in fact if you take into account our other wholesale marketplaces such as Anchor Store, Creoway and also our direct sales, we're now over £300,000 of revenue in our wholesale channel since we started. So when we had an opportunity to try a trade show stand at Spring Faire for free, we thought, why not? Can't hurt, we might as well. But we were a bit skeptical about how many sales we would actually get from it. Well, boy, were we wrong. Spring Faire was absolutely amazing for us. And in fact, trade shows have now instantly been baked into our 2024 strategy and beyond. We've signed up for more trade shows as well. So we're now trialing a blended approach where we really have trade shows backing up what we're doing on Faire. It's a new experiment for us, but the good news is we're going to show you how it goes on this channel, so subscribe to find out how it goes this year. In this video though, I'm going to talk you through our experience with our very first trade show versus online marketplaces and what our strategy is for using them both in the future. I'm going to chat through the positives of the trade show, the negatives of the trade show, the reception of Faire at the trade show with buyers, so what they thought of it, how we found that perception in person, and how we'll approach online versus in-person sales this year. I will not be talking about our overall trade show strategy in this video. There is far too much to cover, but don't worry, I will be doing a separate video on that. So let's start with the positives. And the first one was that we actually really enjoyed it. I loved every single day. I actually woke up looking forward to going and speaking with buyers and connecting with people, meeting other entrepreneurs. I really, really enjoyed it. And I was actually kind of sad it was over. Yes, they were long days. We were really tired. Our backs hurt, our feet hurt, blah, blah, blah. But really, really valuable thing for us to do, and we genuinely really enjoyed it as well. Another thing that I wasn't expecting was how busy we were. I was told that Sundays are busy for independent buyers because the entrepreneurs are coming in, the business owners, they can come in on a Sunday. Monday's busy for buyers because they won't be working on a Sunday. Tuesday's a bit quieter and Wednesday's really dead. But we found that was not the case. Yes, there were more independent buyers on Sunday versus the rest of the week, but we were busy every single day. Wednesday was a lot more people selling to us, so I think people are respectful that the first few days of the trade show you're there to sell, but then the people that are trying to sell to you, a lot of them come through on the Wednesday, and that's fine by me. I'm really open to those conversations. We met sales agents, fulfillment warehouses, all kinds of people that had amazing products and services that could be of use to us, so I'm very open to those conversations. Third positive is we actually made sales, which is obviously the whole reason you're there, and so of course it is a massive bonus to actually get return on investment. We got sales from independents plus larger companies and amazing leads with big retailers who won't just buy there and then. That's kind of a relationship you have to build over months, maybe even years, but we got some really good leads off the back of the show, so watch this space. We also got really good feedback on our product and proposition from retailers and what they actually want. There's nothing quite like discussing the product and all your kind of marketing and your mission in person with the retailer to get an actual response to the product. There's nothing like flicking through your trade catalogue and seeing them asking questions to realise, oh, actually that doesn't quite make sense, or we should have put this over here, or we're missing something. That's really hard feedback to get unless you're doing it in person. So it was really valuable for us. There's a few things that we need to test out this year based on feedback as well. So subscribe to the channel because we share everything that we're doing on our wholesale channel, all the experiments we're trying, whether failed or working really well for us. So do subscribe because we'll be sharing a lot of that in the coming months. Another plus was it was an amazing opportunity for content for us. We had our stand with socks all over it. We had our point of sale stand as well, so we had socks everywhere. It was amazing, so awesome to see. So we actually brought a videographer with us to get lots of content. We filmed a virtual trade show for anyone that couldn't attend the show in person. Lots of product shots behind the scenes, and of course content for this channel. So it was actually a really, really good opportunity to get some awesome content in. So let's cover off the negatives of the trade show now. Naturally, I think the biggest one is the investment. It is really expensive to do trade shows. We actually won this stand, so we didn't have to pay for the stand itself. I'll do a separate video on that and I'll link to it on how I managed to win a stand. But for the rest of it, I actually managed to go quite budget. So budget accommodation, didn't spend too much on the setup for the stand. As it was our first one, I didn't want to throw heaps of cash at it until we knew that it was worth it. And now we've done it, I think, okay, we've already signed up for 2 more. So because we've got more trade shows in, we're gonna start investing in our trade show setup. For me, it's important to have like a really flexible stand. I don't want to be carrying heaps of stuff in from the car. There's just the 2 of us running it. So for now, it's about having a flexible and affordable setup, but we want to start leveling it up. But yes, it is quite a lot of money to spend for 4 days if you account for all of your costs, travel, your time as well. So it really has to be worth it for you. But what I would say is we've signed up for more trade shows, so we're actually willing to put our money where our mouth is and pay for it now. We have decided that based on the orders and the connections, the leads, everything we did at the trade show, we think it is worth our time and money in doing more. The other negative with trade shows is they are very long and tiring days. We were very lucky that there were 2 of us on the stand. I think it would be really, really hard if it's just you, because you are the sole person doing the talking all day, every day. We at least got to kind of have a bit of a break here and there, and we were supporting each other. You know, Andy speaking to a buyer, I quickly run in, grab him a catalogue, like we made a good little team on each day. So it is really hard work, but I'd say with both of these negatives, this is just part of the course of trade shows. They cost money and they're hard work. You just have to suck it up and make the most of it when you're there. And so I come to the part of the video where I talk about the reception of Faire at the trade show. So this is where we actually got to see in person what buyers are really thinking about Faire, their perception of it, and how it's actually going to change our approach going forward. So maybe at the moment it's still a bit like Marmite. Some love it, some refuse to use it. When I explained to some people that we have 0 MOQ on Faire for our UK orders, we could just send you an invoice, tell me what you need, have a look, okay, boom, 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 done. I'll send the invoice and it'll be with you tonight. And that's it. They loved it, and it was a really easy sale. And so I think it is a really crucial part of our trade show setup. However, there were actually a large amount of retailers, mainly independents, I'd say, at this point saying, we don't want to use Faire, we're not interested. There were 2 things that I noticed. One was how many emails they get. Multiple people said to me, yes, I've heard of it, I've had thousands of emails. I think there's kind of an information overwhelm going on with Faire at the moment. People are tired of hearing about it, and this accentuates the need to use an email provider that is not Faire. So yes, we have Faire as a channel, yes, we do advertising for Faire and pushing people into that channel, but we do it via our own email system. And I think that's really important because you need to have your own branding. They need to think that they're hearing from you, not Faire. The second most common response with people generally being hesitant to use the platform is they don't know how to use it, or they generally prefer to use traditional methods of ordering. We were sort of able to combat this in person because we could say, oh, well, we'll help you. You know, this is what it looks like, this is what I'll do, I can set you up an account, we can kind of handhold you through the process. And you kind of saw them like edging towards using it maybe, and they, you know, I don't know whether it was like a really like British thing where they didn't want to say no in person, but they said, okay, I'll look at it when I get home. 100% of those people that said they'll look at it when they get home, or maybe they'll use it, have not used it, they've gone back to the traditional methods. So I think it's a really hard thing to get people over the line unless you're with them in person. It's really hard to translate how easy it is to use when people are kind of really into their own ways of ordering. And of course, that's not a problem for us. We give our customers channel of choice. So if they want to order on Faire, great. Another platform, fine. Directly, awesome. Like, it really doesn't bother us. But it's been a really interesting one because I think we went too hard with pushing Faire at the trade show because of how easy it is for us. Like, it really reduces the admin costs. So there's a reason we have no MOQ on Faire, because we're happy for people to go through it and it's nice and easy for us. But I think it will change our strategy a bit in the future. Maybe we'll go a bit more softly on the approach. We won't push people into using it as much. And it also has highlighted to me that we need to improve our manual wholesale order process as well. Interestingly, another thing we noticed is a lot of those retailers that were kind of anti-Faire or not really knowing much about it assumed that Faire took the cut. So even when we were using Faire's invoicing tool, so the retailer doesn't even need to have an account for this, we just build an invoice and send it over to them. And it's really handy because it's got all our live stock levels in it. We'll send that over and they say, well, why am I paying Faire why can't I pay you directly? Won't you lose money? And they don't understand that it's a 0% commission. It's good for us, it's, if not better for us, it's really easy. So it's important to have that conversation in person, because they think that Faire is taking a cut, whereas really we need to explain that no, it's 0% commission, they hold the credit risk, you can have net payment terms, so there are benefits, but that is clearly not translating in email. And I think people are quite shut off to Faire now because they've had so many emails trying to persuade them to do it. So we're still going to use Faire and advertise it in our marketing, but we're going to be kind of cautious that there's a lot of independent retailers out there who are still not using it. And hence why we're going to more trade shows now, because we've really realised how many retailers are out there that are just not using Faire. So just Faire alone is probably not the right approach for us anymore. And so that segues us nicely into our strategy for this year on wholesale. We are going to be doing more trade shows, and we're going to have a blended approach. So we're actually going to another trade show in the summer. We would have gone to another one in autumn as well. So Autumn Faire is the kind of sister show to Spring Faire. And we would have gone to that, but we're going to be preoccupied with getting married. Woo. So yeah, our strategy is to start building up leads now for the trade show in the summer, because we've realised how powerful it is for us to connect with these people in person, and it is so much easier to get the sale. Our in-person sales are so much stronger than on email. If someone comes to visit our stand who is like maybe interested in buying, or they've maybe just come across us, they've never heard of us, in speaking to that person, I can almost guarantee that I will get the sale. That is how strong our in-person sales are. There is nothing quite like speaking with the founder in person, discussing our mission, seeing all of the stock spread out nicely, seeing the whole range in one place in person, and being able to touch and feel the product in person. It's actually quite an easy sale for us. I think because we're so passionate about the product and how much we believe in it, that comes across too, and that is just so hard to convey on email. We will absolutely be using a blended approach with Faire though. A lot of the leads that have come off the back of the trade show have converted in via Faire, and it's obviously an amazing platform for us and we're still a big fan of it. But I think the power now comes for us from using online marketplaces and trade shows. This is going to be a really cool experiment for us, so subscribe if you want to see how we go. We've got our trade show in the summer, we've got more for next year as well, so stick around and we'll share how we get on. If you found this video useful, please drop us a like and share in the comments if you've got any of your own trade show experiences that you want to share with us, and I will see you in the next video.